Okay, well, thank you everyone who is joining the live right now. Welcome to Becoming the Artist blog. This is a show where I, as an artist, am learning about the industry with my musical friends. And today I have a special guest from across the world. So without further ado, I'd let Kaki introduce herself, where you're from, and how long you've been doing music.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Kaki. My real name is Hema Dangi and I'm from Udaipur, India. And I've been doing music since I was 9 or 10, and I'm working with Talents of World from the last 3 years, and I'm a singer and songwriter. I make Hindi and English music, and I'm very happy to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, one thing that I want to start with, actually, that's super interesting because I've done the same for my music name. I decided to go for a stage name. So my stage name is AksoHeart, but my real name is a lot different. So what made you decide to go for Kaki Singer as your title?
Okay, so my full name is Hema Dangi, and I'm from India, and we have different cultures here. And I wanted my name to be something different from from the very beginning. I learned music since I was 9 and 10, and when I joined Talents of World, we wanted to pursue music as an artist and something different from what I've been doing before, and something different from where I come from. And I wanted to people to know me from my music and from my art. So we decided to make a name for it. Kaki in itself doesn't mean something for me, but it's the name that means.
Amazing. So you are quite young. I don't think a lot of people know, but you're only 19 years old, and you can't tell because your work is incredible. It looks like you're a very well-established artist. So being so young, have you faced any challenges already that you're working on or that have come up in your career so far?
I feel like when you are pursuing your career when you're young, and when you, especially in your teenage, you don't understand the world yet. And I'm thinking of that now. And when I was starting out, and when you are in teenage, you face a lot of insecurities, and you don't know if you are confident enough to pursue in the music industry.
Right.
So you have to have some people that you can trust that are going to be with you. And for that, I had my parents and I had my team for that. And I think anyone who wants to pursue as a young artist should have someone that they can trust to be there for them at that time.
Yes, yeah. So then when you write your music, is that some of the things that you kind of express so that your fans can connect to, like your insecurities or things that you're experiencing as you're growing up? Amazing.
Yes, I feel like every singer or songwriter, when they write music, they connect themselves to them firstly, but generally my writing style is more of, I think about some story or I think about some character and I write about them, but at the same time it's also about me. So it's a mixture of some of the stories, and it's a mixture of something I feel about that, and I write itself in the paper and see it from a different perspective, yet from my perspective.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So I mean, we'll get into a lot more. I see a lot of people joining. If you guys have any questions, please do put that in the chat so we can ask Kaki while she's here. But then to begin with, you kind of mentioned this is relatively new. As you're young, you've been doing it for a few years. Was there any preparation to kind of get you ready to put yourself out there, being on camera, singing? It's a lot. So did you prepare yourself in any way?
When I've been in the songwriting since the last 3 years. Before that, I was just doing singing. So it was just about going to music classes and just pursuing music. Obviously, first thing, you have to know what your work is. Obviously, you have to know what type of genre you want to go into, and what are you going to sing, Hindi or English, and many things like that. But the main thing, I think, is the mindset. You firstly, you have to know that if you are going to pursue it as a full-time career, you have to leave many things behind, and you have to sacrifice your time, and the time you can enjoy, or the time you can go out with your friends and everything like that. You have the time you can do different things. You will have to sacrifice all of that just to pursue this career, and it's a big thing to do in your young age. I feel like when
Yeah.
2 or 3 years back, it was difficult for me to do that, but now I feel like it was important. And also I feel like you in the music industry, I feel like there's not much of what you feel like you have to do, and you have to get out of your comfort zone to do some things, right?
Exactly.
There are also limitations about this, but I feel like I'm not very good in communicating, and I am just a singer, and I was not comfortable in writing Hindi songs. I was a bit good at English and everything, but I was not very good at Hindi songs. But to do this, I had to get out of my comfort zone. So that is very important thing to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I will say it's not even a question, but it's amazing and it's incredible that you've been able to both sing and rap in Hindi and English and sound like a very, very well-established artist. Like that's a big, big deal, being so young. So I'm so excited to see where your future goes, because it's going to be incredible. With that, what made you think to kind of switch between the two? I think a lot of people outside India perhaps don't know English is one of the most common languages in India, if not the most spoken across the country. But for people outside India, they're not, they know there's lots of languages in India. What made you decide English would be a cool way to try different things in your music?
When I was learning Indian classical music, I learned one thing, that music is just music, and although there are many different languages, especially in Indian classical music, there are use of Carnatic music also in that, and Hindi language and Braj language especially. I learned that music is more than just languages. So when I decided to go into Western music, I was like, I want to do this, I want to pursue music, and English was one of the most languages I was comfortable in, and the language spoken. And it was not very well discovered in the region I am in,
Right.
As an Indian artist, there are very less individual artists who go and pursue English language or English.
Right. Yeah. I mean, then how did you get into rapping? Because that's a whole another ball game. There's a lot more to it than just, I think melodies might be a different way to write compared to rapping. How did you get into that?
Okay, so when I was in school, I used to do very much, if you know about Sanskrit mantras and everything, you'll know that it was very similar to rap, and I didn't knew that at that time. So I remember Light Switch was my first rap song. When I thought that I want to go into hip hop and rap, I want to make some kind of that music, I tried to learn rap, and especially English rap. It was a difficult one, and I found out that Sanskrit mantras, and that had very much common. They were very common about that, and I felt like I could do it. And my team also supported me and said that you can do it if you want to. And it's very similar to the music I pursue, but still a bit different, and you have to work on rap. It's more the melodies. I feel like the melody and the singing technique of Hindi music is a bit difficult from the pop music I see. So I was ready to do the rap part.
Yes. Oh no, that's fantastic. And it's cool that you've taken some of your kind of influences growing up to kind of dive that into your music. You mentioned your team as well. Kind of how have you had the same team throughout your whole career, and how have they supported you through your experience so far?
Okay, so my team is Talent World team. I'm working with Talent World, and from the last 3 years, I've been working with them, and they have taught me many things about to be an individual artist and how can you be a successful one in that. And I feel like without them, I don't think I would have been what I have been in the last 3 years, especially this fast. And they have taught me so many things about how to do your music, to how visualizations are important in pursuing your music career, and many things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually gonna, that was my next question. Your imagery and your videos are quite nice across not only your social profile, but in your music and how you incorporate that. Like, how important is that for you as an artist, and what made you, like, how involved are you in that sort of process?
I didn't knew many things about that when I joined, but I made my first cover song, Lion's Den. It was from Jameel. It was a cover song. It's released on linuxm.tv. And when I was doing that, I was not prepared at all. So my team taught me about these things, like I told you. Visualizations are one of the most important thing. People look at you. When they listen to music, it's but the more vast you are as an artist, the more people look up to you and the more opportunities you have. So I knew when I was doing Western music and that sort of thing, I knew that I had to get good photos done and good videos done, and I have to be prepared to do everything that I can do to make my opportunities in the music industry.
Yes, yeah. And well, speaking of visuals, you have a new single that is out, which is super exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk to us about, it's called Tera Intezar, which for people who are watching and maybe not familiar with the language means waiting for you. Yeah, talk to us a bit more about the song and the visuals as well that's been released today.
Okay, so everyone, please watch my new music video, Tera Intezar. It's in Hindi song. It's in Hindi language song. It's a pop Hindi song, but please watch the video. Thank you. And the song is about love, but it's not in the sense of modern love. It's the story of a girl who is in love with a person but is waiting for them. The Tera Intezar words literally means I am waiting for you. I wrote this song. I remember seeing a movie, watching a movie, and there was this character who waited for her love and everything. So I remember the story of Meera. There was this story, historical story of India. It was the story of Meera and Lord Krishna, and I remember I know that people think of love as in modern love, that you need to be with a person to fall in love with them, but it was something different from what I saw, and I felt like this is something that I need to make into music. So I wrote a song. It's the first line of the song is Sham Dhal Jaye. So it literally means that the sun is setting down, which is metaphorically means that my life is ending now and I'm still waiting for you. It's that selfless kind of love story. So if you want to know more, please watch the video. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I see lots of people in the chat. If you've seen the video already, put a thumbs up. But if not, please make sure you are following Kaki. I'm sure a lot of you are already, and go to YouTube and watch the video. It's amazing visuals as well. So congrats once again. So what are you planning for your career moving forward? Again, we've mentioned you are quite young. Obviously the world is your oyster. There's a lot you can do. There's so many things that you can try. Are you planning to maybe try to come to the UK with, or I say the UK because I'm in the UK, but to the West with some of the English music, or what are the plans?
Right now there are no plans of going anywhere. I'm right now here, and the plans are kind of that I want to spread my music at both places. So generally, if you have listened to my music, there are a lot of fusions between Hindi and English. So I feel like I want to present a different kind of thing to people, and I feel like the Indian classical version of music is not expressed or not given by musicians of in pop culture very much. So I feel like that I want to explore it a bit more, and the plans are that I feel like I want people to know me from something unique that I create, and I want people to know me from my voice or from my visuals, that she is Kaki and that unique thing is of Kaki and that unique kind of thing is started by Kaki.
Amazing, amazing. I mean, that was what I was going to ask you. I was going to say, how do you define yourself as an artist? And even when I was kind of searching your music and your profile, it is quite hard because you do quite a lot. You do, you know, rapping, singing, Hindi, English, visuals, songwriting now as well. So it is quite a treat. If you're a fan of Kaki, you're going to get lots of reward for it because you do a lot of different things. So it's exciting to see where you're going. And again, congratulations on the single. Any final messages for your fans? And if the fans as well, if you have any questions, please do type them and we can hopefully ask them on the live. But any final messages?
I want to say that anyone here, that if you want to do something and if you want to, especially if you want to pursue music, listen to yourself and don't just make music for the people, and make music for yourself. And just like you pursue any other career and put yourself into it fully, put yourself into music fully. Like I've seen so many people trying to, music is like, generally music, when especially in India, when generally people are pursuing music, I feel like it's always the second option. Like if I'm doing music but I can't put myself fully in it. And I remember I dropped out of school in 11th and I was in 11th class, and for 1 year I'm still studying, but I wanted to pursue music fully. So I put myself and dedicated myself to it fully. So I want you all, if you want to do it fully. Like put yourself in it and you will get results, but don't just expect to get results when you are not willing to give everything to it.
You know, that is such a lovely message, I think, to give to people. I think it's a South Asian community thing because sometimes music is, you know, hard to get into. Sometimes you feel like, oh, it might not give me the career success that I expect. You know, being a doctor, being a lawyer, those kind of give you the success. So creativity is hard. And I think major props to you because being so young and you recognize that already, that actually, if I want to do it, I should pursue it fully, is an incredible message. We had a question here. What made you so confident? Most of the youth in India lack it very much. What's your secret? And that's from Kananti. It's a long at. I will pin your question.
Okay. I feel like when you do what you want to do and when you are doing your thing, you kind of get that confidence in the way. It's not a one-way thing. And I feel like the youth in India, especially I'm talking about youth in India, we are doing things that we are trying to make our parents proud, or we are trying to do things that the society thinks is good for you. So it's also okay to do that, but I feel like when you go into any stream that you want to go into, and when you do things that your way, you kind of get that confidence in the way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Do you think, did you have any challenges from maybe not your close family and friends, but any extended family and friends that don't do this is not the right thing? Did you get any of that?
Fortunately, not many. My parents are actually very supportive and my team is actually very supportive. So I had very less of that, but yeah, I remember in school I was talking to someone, some teacher or some parents or something, I remember, and they told me that they do ask me what do you want to do, and I told them I want to be a singer, and they told me you can't be a singer, that you have to do something, this is not gonna go long and everything. And people don't see music as a career, they see it, but from someone who's coming from a local place or from someone who's coming from a regional place, it's actually very hard to see them that they are going to do it and then they are going to reach there. It's very difficult for people to grasp it, and I feel like that needs to stop, because when you want to do something, you find ways to do it.
Yeah, yeah, go and drive your passion. If you're in love with music or whatever that is for you, you should definitely strive for it. So yeah, again, a great message. We have another question. What's your education qualification, and did your family, I mean, you've mentioned the second half of family support, and you also mentioned that you are also simultaneously, while doing music, doing your education. What is your education in, and yeah, where are you at with that?
Okay. I'm right now. I'm learning. I'm in the second year of English honors, and the fact is, the most important thing is I'm pursuing a career in music. So the education for me is something. Learning is for your everyday life. You need to be have knowledge of all things. So I think education you should do. You should learn till the day you die. Like, I'm that kind of person, and I think I have the qualifications in music also. I have a BA degree in music, and I'm right now doing English honors. And my parents had always taught me to put the studies secondary. My parents have
Mm,
supported me. They have always
wow.
told me that you want to do music, you do music, and you can study also. Like, it was
That's
always that.
amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. That's not the usual advice a lot of parents
Yes,
give, but that's
yes,
amazing that you have such supportive parents. And I think in turn, you're studying English language, which is so important, of course, with the music that you do. Um, and I probably would suggest that if you are thinking about um, doing music in any way, or doing something like your passion, you still should get some form of education. you know I think COVID has taught us, like, things can change completely for especially musicians. I don't know how it was in India, but um performing was quite difficult in the UK because everything was locked down. How was your experience during the lockdown? How did you deal with that?
actually, it was not very different for me because I remember I left school in 2018. So it was like
uh
6 or 7 months before the COVID happened.
yes.
And from that time, I'm doing things in my house. I have a studio in my house, and I'm like making music there. It's just a bit difficult to work on the videos and the photographs with my team because you can't go out. So I've been handling it pretty well. We are handling it pretty well. But I think it was actually a great opportunity for artists who want to do online music, because
Mm,
you are at home, everybody is at home, and they want to listen to something. The opportunities for me was actually good in that, but I think it's been difficult
yeah.
to connect with people. And after 2 or 3 years, I think it's been like I've not talked to many people in those 2 to 3 years, rather than my team and my family.
Yeah. So I think that's the most hardest part of it. Like, performing is another challenge outside being a singer and an artist. It's another skill to kind of conquer. But I think the biggest thing from my musical friends has been, you can't talk to people, you can't have that connection, one-on-one conversation. Do you plan any gigs coming up? Are you doing any shows?
uh,
What's in store?
Okay, right now there are no plans about it, but I'm very much looking forward to it if it happens. And right now I'm trying to focus on my music and some kind of things I have plans for. Like, I want to know more about Hindi music and everything, so I'm planning to make a, a kind of songs before actually going into the performing thing. I want to make
Nice.
my music and everything before that.
Yeah, get a catalog of music and then
Yes,
perform
yes.
that. Okay. We have another question here. Let me just pin that quickly. So how can I become a successful Bollywood Hindi playback singer? And from where to start? The main thing is to start, of course, and where to give auditions. So just for anyone else who is watching this and maybe isn't familiar with Bollywood obviously is an industry in India, whether it's movies or music. So the question is, how do you get involved in that area? Have you had an experience in that field, or?
Actually, with Bollywood, I have not. And yes, I have given auditions and everything, and well, it didn't work out for me very well. And
Okay.
I think I can't give much advice about playback singing because I'm not a playback singer, but you have to find your own ways in that. And I feel like I don't have really have much advice to give to, because I am not a playback singer.
Yeah. Well, I guess the main thing is like any audition is just, prepare yourself, get ready for it, and just believe in yourself and your music. I think your craft will speak for itself as you audition. So hopefully that answered your question. Just gonna wait and see if we've got any more questions. Do you ever think about exploring Bollywood in that way? Do you ever think acting? Because I know you do so much, right? You've explored music in its different forms, but you're also quite a creative person outside that. So do you ever think, okay, I could act, I could do, some film work? Is that something you think about in your future?
Yes, in future maybe, but right now I don't think about it very much. I Right now I feel like I want to explore music individually, and maybe one day I feel like if I am successful on my own first, then I can go into the film industry, because it would be possible at that time.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's to that question above. It's a whole nother industry. It's a whole nother ball game. So yeah, you never know though. With you, you do so much. I'm sure some new things will come out in the end. So if there are no further questions, once again, thank you everyone who's joined me on the live, and especially thank you, Kaki, for joining me all the way. I know it's 7 p.m. It's a bit later in the day for you guys, so I appreciate you coming and joining me on the live. Congratulations once again on all your success so far and the release of your new single. If you are watching, please do go follow Kaki_Singer. It's up there, and I also will link this on the blog. And you can follow me to find out more about more artists across the world and my own personal music. But once again, thank you, Kaki. It's lovely connecting with you, and all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here, and I am very much happy to express myself to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.